Welcome to the channel. Passing by to thank everyone for registering. We gained 900 subscribers. Are we going to reach 1,000 subscribers? I count on your registration. Let's go to the video. Should Vinicius Jr. consider leaving Real Madrid amid the Mbappe soap opera? It was reported that the merengue club is prepared to sell the Brazilian to make way for the PSG star, which would be a serious mistake. It's incredible the way he scares defenders, the ease with which he can dribble one way or another. When he has more consistency with the last ball, he will be a football god. Former Real Madrid midfielder, Vini ranked Vinicius Jr. above Kylian Mbappe as the best striker in European football when speaking to El Chiringuito, which surprised some people. After all, Mbappe finished the 2022-23 campaign with 41 goals for Paris Saint-Germain, including 7 in 8 Champions League games, and added another Ligue 1 title to his trophy collection. However, Vinicius accumulated 44 goals, the best total of his career, despite playing in a team that fluctuated after the Spanish Championship and Champions League double in 2021-22. Carlo Ancelotti's team won the Copa del Rey last season, but were ousted by Barcelona as the best team in Spain, in addition to being humiliated by Manchester City in the Champions League semi-finals. Real probably wouldn't have got this far if it weren't for Vini, who scored 3 goals and provided 4 assists in the round of 16 and quarter-finals over Liverpool and Chelsea respectively. In stark contrast, Mbappe disappeared when PSG were eliminated in the round of 16 by Bayern Munich. Injuries have hampered Vinicius' progress this season, but he was decisive once again, scoring a stunning hat-trick in Real's Spanish Super Cup final victory over Barca. Which made the nickname, God of Football, not seem absurd to anyone who watched the Brazilian terrorize the Blaugrana defense on that special night in Saudi Arabia, with his decision-making in the final third impeccable throughout the 90 minutes. However, it has been widely reported that Real Madrid are ready to listen to offers for Vinicius to finally finance a deal for Mbappe at the end of the season, after a soap opera that has now lasted almost 3 years. Simply put, Vinicius deserves much more appreciation and would be wise to opt for a transfer because it is clear he will never achieve that at the Santiago Bernabéu. Players must not behave arrogantly. Incredibly, Vinicius's exploits for Real Madrid last season did not earn him a place among the 12 finalists nominated for the 2023 FIFA the Best FIFA award. The fact that the 23-year-old has not received due recognition only shows how underrated he is. Vinicius was crying in the dressing room, joked Ancelotti when asked. I asked him, what's going on, and he said, they didn't put me on this list. He cried for 3 or 4 hours and we couldn't get him to stop. The Brazilian obviously didn't show any frustration. Despite emerging as the most important member of the Real Madrid squad, the Spanish media have been reluctant to give Vinicius the recognition he deserves, and he must feel he is fighting a losing battle. In the face of frequent and disgusting racist attacks, Vinicius was portrayed as a villain, instead of receiving adequate support. Players need to be good professionals and should not behave arrogantly, said Alberto Núñez Feijóo, president of Spain's Popular Party, after Vinicius was called a monkey in the game against Valencia. Real Madrid have always supported the player on this issue, and Ancelotti insisted there is a wider racism problem in Spain. Club officials are also very aware of the negative publicity this generates. According to Sport, Florentino Perez thinks Mbappe is a more suitable protagonist for Real than Vinicius. Vinicius' unique talent is not valued as much as it should be at the Bernabéu. He makes more headlines for what happens off the field than on it, and, as a result, it seems that Real Madrid see him as an expendable asset. Mbappe is not a sign of progress. Sport further claims that Mbappe has received an offer to join Real on a free transfer following the end of his current contract with PSG, and Los Blancos have already decided to put Vinicius up for sale if they can reach an agreement with Mbappe in the coming months. Manchester United are believed to be first in line for Vini, with a potential bid of £130 million. Real tied Vinicius to a new 4-year contract in October 2023 after he publicly stated his desire to serve out the rest of his playing days at the Bernabeu. But why should the Brazilian accept being second best? Real Madrid could decide to keep him after signing Mbappe, but they still play in the same position, meaning the former Flamengo prodigy's minutes on the pitch would be significantly reduced. Madridistas appear to see Mbappe as an improvement, the man capable of leading a new era of dominance in domestic and European competitions. Despite being the focal point of the PSG team, Mbappe was unable to lead the French to the long-awaited Champions League title. Vinicius, on the other hand, scored the winning goal in the 2021-22 final against Liverpool and continues to shine in the most important matches. So why on earth would Real Madrid spend the majority of their transfer budget on a player who is unlikely to add a new dimension to their attack? A tiring soap opera. Real's prolonged search for Mbappe has had numerous twists and turns, but without a definitive decision on his future. The French star shocked the world by signing a new contract with PSG in May 2022, after the club rejected 2 mega offers from Real. According to Sport Bild, the 25-year-old is finally ready to move to the Santiago Bernabeu, but only if Real Madrid pay him a salary of €70 million, 373 million Brazilian reals, per year and a bonus of transfer of €125 million. 667 million Brazilian reals. Goal understands that a large number of Real Madrid fans have turned against Mbappe amid the complicated saga, with some considering that he has led the club to waste time. If Real go ahead and replace Vinicius with Mbappe, they will be swapping one controversial figure for another. At least with Vini, his loyalty has never been in doubt and he doesn't seem to share Mbappe's love of being the center of attention at all times. Losing a bigger figure. Karim Benzema's departure to Al Ittihad, in the European summer window, left a big gap in the Spanish team. The 2022 Ballon d'Or winner led the team for more than a decade, scoring 354 goals in 648 games, and it would take time for Ancelotti's side to adapt to his departure. Real signed Joselu on loan to fill their need for a centre-forward, but focused most of their energy on Jude Bellingham rather than looking for a suitable replacement for Benzema. Surprisingly, Bellingham took over the scoring role for his new team, scoring 18 times in his first 23 games. However, in the long term, the 20-year-old cannot be expected to maintain that conversion rate. Real need another Benzema and will struggle to add a 15th Champions League title until they get one. It has been reported that Real Madrid will turn their attention to Manchester City goal machine Erling Haaland if he fails to reach an agreement with Mbappe, but the Norwegian should already be a priority. Haaland's agent, Rafaela Pimenta, even hinted that the striker would jump at the opportunity to move to the Santiago Bernabeu. There is the Premier League and also Real Madrid, she said. They have something that is also the player's dream. Real Madrid still has that magic. Mbappe would not have a transformative impact on this Real team, but Haaland could very well, especially with Vinicius available, provide a high-quality service. I'm not a saint. Right now, the only downside to Vinicius's game is his tendency to let frustration get the best of him. He is constantly subjected to terrible treatment from opposing teams due to his status as a Real Madrid star, so he is often dragged into conflicts instead of letting his football do the talking. An example of this occurred in the Super Cup final, when he provoked the Barca bench after Ronald Araujo was sent off for a second yellow card. Vinicius' petulant actions almost overshadowed his dazzling performance, and he will need to learn how to keep his emotions in check if he is to explore his full potential in the years to come. Vinicius, however, is mature enough to realize where he can improve. I'm not a saint, he said after Real's 4-1 victory. Sometimes I talk too much, sometimes I do dribbles that I don't need to do, but I want to learn. That's what I'm here for, to learn. Mbappe is 2 years older than the Brazilian, but he has never demonstrated the same capacity for self-analysis. Everything revolves around him at PSG, exactly how he likes it. The French champions have fed his ego to the point where it appears he is bigger than the club at the moment, and that is at the expense of his overall performance. And now, it is difficult to imagine Ancelotti giving the green light for Vini to leave. The Italian has masterfully managed the youngster's development and is clearly proud of how far he has come. Vinicius is back to his best level after his injury, he said at a press conference. He is learning to play both inside and outside, which makes him more dangerous. He is much less predictable, changes positions and combines well with Rodrigo. Now that Real Madrid can count on Vinicius in full form again, they have a great chance of regaining the Spanish title, with surprising Girona lacking the same momentum. He is also good enough to lead another Champions League knockout campaign, even if Real don't have the tools to go all the way this time. It's time for Madrid fans to give Vinicius the respect he deserves. His place in the club's history should already be assured, given how much he has achieved in just 6 seasons. And his best is yet to come. Mbappe is also undoubtedly a playmaker, but Real Madrid simply don't need him at the moment. Not even the baggage he brings. Vinicius was forced to shine under the bright lights of the Bernabeu, and it would be foolish to lose him, especially to accommodate a man whose ego could fill the stadium.